The ability to create necessity and the need to have something is going to propel you so much further than if you simply just want something. If you just want something because it's pleasurable, because you desire it, because you think it would be cool to have, that is not as good of motivation as necessity and the need to win and the need to accomplish and the need to achieve something. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, so I obviously barely had any time, spending a lot of time with family, driving back and forth, eating, chilling. You know, it's a holiday. It is what it is. But as I went to bed, I was trying to go to bed decently early so I could get some sleep because I worked this morning, but I could not fall asleep. No matter how tired my body was, my mind could not rest because I knew that I had not done anything that day, yesterday, on Thanksgiving, to be able to propel myself forward. And I felt this burning desire, this burning need, this need to put in some work because I knew that my goals were waiting for me and that I wasn't working towards them. So I was rolling over in bed, rolling back and forth, unable to fall asleep. And it was like 2:30 a.m. and I fucking had to get up, sit at my laptop, have the bright screen on, and I worked until 3 a.m. then woke back up at 7. Very irresponsible for my physical health and mental as well, to be honest, because only 4 hours of sleep is not good. But I'm not making excuses, and the whole reason that ties together is because I felt this burning need to put in the work to help me get closer to my goals. And a lot of you guys out there, you probably want things. You probably want a cool watch, cool clothes, expensive clothes, designer. Maybe you want a cool car, whatever. I'm gonna tell you right now, those will not be enough when shit gets hard. When shit gets hard and you're dead tired and you want to go back to bed, it's gonna be a lot easier to just say, oh, I don't need the watch, I don't need that car, I'll get a less fancy car if it means I can sleep a little more now. I'm done for the day working, I don't need those designer clothes, I'll still get some nice stuff, but just not the extra expensive version. You have to create the need to win. Now, I didn't have a hard, difficult childhood or anything. Always had food on the table. Some of you guys maybe didn't. But with me, I was very lucky, had a good childhood. So, and then as of currently, I don't need to work my ass off. I don't need to get rich. I can finish out my college years, just going to school, going to class. I work a couple days a week, pay off whatever basic expenses I have, and then graduate and get a normal job. I don't need to be ultimately and wildly successful, but I created a need for myself that I have to do that. And I wholeheartedly believe that at this point. Maybe I didn't used to, and I slowly had to just manifest and force myself to believe and create this new reality that I have no option, that I have to win, that I have to be successful. Because, like I said, I didn't have really a hard childhood. Like, probably the worst thing was that I was always the shortest and skinniest kid in basically everything. Like, shorter than every girl in class, skinnier than every dude by like a ton of pounds. So that was probably the hardest thing, and at this point in my life I probably make up for it, to be honest, with lifting. That's probably why I'm like really into lifting, if you get deep down into it. But I never really had to worry about like poverty or anything like that, not being able to afford basic needs. So I don't technically need to fight my way out or anything like that, but I've created that for myself. And some of you might think that's greedy, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's okay to want more. It's okay to be unsatisfied. It doesn't mean I'm not happy. I'm so happy. Whenever I work my ass off and feel like I gave it my all, and I go to bed completely drained, dead tired, knowing I gave my best, that's when I'm most happy. And that's why I create this need for myself. And I recommend that you guys do the same as well, especially if you're like me. Maybe you just had an average, like I'm just an average dude, bro. Like maybe you guys are just average dudes. You didn't have any super bad hardships. And honestly, this is like, you can play the victim as well, but that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother video I'll make as well. But you have to manifest and summon up and create this need to win. Because if you, let me tie it back to earlier. Like I said, with the watches, the cars, the designer clothes, whatever you guys want. I know you guys are dreaming of your best life right now, all your material stuff that you want. That will never be enough. You have to get deeper than that. Some of the needs that, let me give you guys really like applicable examples right now from what I've been talking about so far. So how I create necessity for myself is I try to make myself believe that there's no way out, that this is the only option, that I will succeed or die. And honestly, I do not want to work a normal job my whole life. I will if I have to at the beginning, but I'd rather be broke and working for myself, creating my own businesses, living out my full potential, trying my best every single day, than just clocking in, clocking out, clocking in, clocking out, not having to think about work. I love thinking about shit constantly, being stressed about it when I go to bed, being stressed about it from the moment I wake up. I love that shit. And that's a life for me. So I create that necessity that I have to be successful because of that. It goes further and more heavy-hearted, I guess you could say. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but I've mentioned in a past video, sometimes I like to think about my future kids and my future family. That will be many years down the road for me. I don't plan to do that, to begin a family until late 20s, to be honest. And I'm 21 right now, so I don't really have to worry about that yet. But I think that every extra amount of effort that I put in now will make their lives better, will give them a better place, a better school, a better house to grow up in. Because honestly, when I wake up in the morning and I'm tired as shit, or when it's 3 a.m. and I have work in 4 hours that I have to wake up for, buying a new watch or my dream car is honestly not enough. I do not want it that bad for that reason. But when I think about the future people that are going to depend on me, and I think that if I work harder now, it'll make their life easier and my life easier, to be honest. It's also for selfish reasons as well, that I won't have to worry as much in the future. That's what keeps me going. Create that necessity in your own life. No matter what stage that you're at in life, you can always create necessity somehow. Just get creative with it. Technically, you could put yourself in actual situations of necessity as well. It doesn't even have to be fictional or manifested like mine usually are. It could be real. Maybe you take all the money out of your savings account and you put it in stocks or something like that. Because stocks, you don't really want to sell those if you don't have to. But a savings account, if your checking gets low, you're feeling lazy, maybe you don't want to work as much this month, take it out of my savings. I'll cover it this month. One last example, and this is something that we all have to go through and we all have a need for, and that's time. You don't know how much time you have left. You could die tomorrow, or you could live to be 100. You don't know. And that's why you have to give it your all every single day and make the most of every day, and have the need, the necessity to constantly be putting in more, because what if it's the last chance you get? Don't you want to finish on a good note? Know that you gave it your all one last time? And this doesn't even go for work, as in like money or anything, or even fitness. It goes for spending time with those you care about as well. Create the need to do everything in life at a remarkable level. Exceed and excel at everything, whether, like I said, that's with loved ones, money, or fitness. I hope this video helped in some way. Just had a few thoughts that I had to get off my chest, and obviously, like I told you, the story that I had last night. I have some more examples, but I'll save those for future videos of how, and I'll try and write them down as well. I definitely have a couple more, but I'm gonna write those down. But I hope that this will help you build necessity in your life, and I hope that you think of own ways to build your own necessity. Good luck.